3D Merida Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of my last few installments in my Disney Princess series. And so this one is going to be Merida from the movie Brave, and I have always loved Merida and I love listening to that accent more than I love listening to these pots being around. But I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
For the Merida nail, I began with an overlay of a shimmery white acrylic. This is the same acrylic I used on all of my Disney princesses, and you will see why eventually. I promise I keep saying that, but it really will be soon. It will be next month, which for me and the scheduling of my uploads is soon, I promise. I have been working on this little series for about a year, so I feel like it's a part of me is coming to a close, and I've been having so much fun with it. But anywho, I'm going to then encase the nail with a layer of clear acrylic just over the top of the whole thing to make sure it is nice and strong, and it'll protect that slightly shimmer quality of the white acrylic that I was using in the background. Then I'm going to be filing the nail into shape with my e-file, starting out with a fairly coarse bit to smooth out the surface and kind of clean up all of the lines a little bit. And then I'm going to be using a finer bit just to go over the whole thing and essentially buff it into shape. After you have all of that done, I'm going to start out with a creamy, very, very pale, light beige color, and I'm going to be sculpting Merida's face, neck, and chest. For her face, this is probably the only Disney princess where you pretty much start out with a circle for her face, which I thought was a little bit entertaining, and I'm probably just a weirdo, but she's the only Disney princess with a round face, and I think that's pretty cool. But then add her neck and her shoulders, and then I'm going to be sculpting her hair with a warm copper color. It's actually called warm gold as far as the acrylic goes. It's Young Nails warm gold if anybody is curious, but it's not really gold to me. It's more of like a copper color, which is perfect for Merida's hair. So I placed down one side of her hair, and then using the tip of my brush just kind of poke and prod it a little bit so it gets some texture in it. She's got crazy curly hair, which I can certainly respect because my hair can be very similar at times. But just go through and adjust it, and then go back and add the second side of her hair, just like that. Add a little bit more. Keep in with that poking and prodding method. Just take the tip of your brush and push the acrylic around to get that shape in there. And then with a dark green gel polish, I'm going to be painting her dress on her. I didn't have the right color of acrylic just in my collection, so I figured a little bit of gel polish would do the job. Plus, I had one that was shimmery and gorgeous, so I thought that was perfect. And then I'm going to be adding some details into her hair with acrylic paint. I began with just a little bit of a brown color to add some darker strands in there, and you can also use a little bit of burgundy. I wouldn't overdo the burgundy, but adding a little bit here and there was really pretty. And then add some highlights with a pumpkin orange, a really bright orange color. Just little squiggle lines. Don't make any of your lines straight. You want them all to have a sort of a wave to them. And then going back through with brown paint, I'm going to add some outlines, and I'm going to add trim on her dress with gold. I've got a really pretty metallic gold paint that did a great job of adding details on her dress. I'm going to add a little bit more on her hair, and like I said, adding some details with brown paint. So I just outlined her chin, and then I'm going to go through and add some facial features. So I started out with her nose, and then I'm going to be adding her eyes. All of her facial features are a little bit wider set, with that round face. So her eyes are a little bit farther apart than the others. Add a little bit of that burgundy color on her nose. Add her eyebrows. She has one strand of hair that's going across her face, so that eyebrow is split by that hair. And then add the color in her eyes starting out with white. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of teal in each eye for her iris. I wouldn't just use like a regular blue, but a really nice, bright, kind of freshwater teal was a really pretty color. And then add a couple little details with black. Don't overdo it because she does have the red hair and the lighter features, so I wouldn't overdo the outlining on her eyes or anything. I would just keep it all very, very simple. And then apply some gel sealer over the background, cure that, matte top coat over Merida, and then I'm going to start her dress nail. For the dress nail, I began with a layer of clear acrylic. I wanted the background color to be the same as the color of her dress, and since I didn't use acrylic for that, I used gel polish. I'm going to use gel polish for this as well. So have that layer of clear just over the background to strengthen the nail, and then file it into shape with the same method you used for the first nail. Obviously, you can use whatever bits you prefer, or you don't have to use an e-file at all. So whatever your filing method is, go for it. Then I'll paint 2 coats of that dark green gel polish over the nail, and then I'm going to cure those, and then using the metallic gold paint, I'm going to be adding a little section from the pattern of the trim of her dress. So you're starting out with a little serpent. So paint that little gold serpent head, and then it's this interlocking knot pattern that goes around it. And it took me a really long time to find a photo of her trim specifically. I could see there was a lot of different images of Merida where you could see just like a really small snippet because the dress had some wrinkles in it or something, and I probably did half an hour's research trying to find a good reference photo to paint this little pattern from. So I was really happy when I found it, and I thought he was such a cool, intricate design that I had to include it. So keep working on this little pattern. It's very, like I said, it's very intricate. So it's all these lines that interlock, and I would definitely recommend taking your time with it. It's kind of like a Zentangle. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. My dad was really into Zentangle for a little while, a couple years ago. And it definitely reminded me of those. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a little bit of black outlining here and there. So just adding some selective black lines, and the purpose of those is to make it visible and make it obvious which lines go over the top of the other one, so it doesn't look like it's just this mess, but they all kind of have a direction, and you can tell that they're weaving in and out from each other. Add a couple little details on your serpent's face, and just keep adding those until each line is obvious which direction that it's going. Then apply a layer of gel sealer over the top, cure that, and this is all done. Merida is one of my favorites. I love dark green, and like I said in the intro, I love her accent too. And here is a Melody Minutes.
What is
Melody,
it?
what is that? Is that berry?
You say berry?
Can you say raspberry?
Job. She said berry. Good job.
Yum. Raspberry.
Oh.
Melody, can you feed your baby? You got some good food there. Melody, feed your baby. Feed your baby.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Melody sometimes does the funniest things, and she has to eat raspberries with them on her finger first. I hope you guys like the design as much as I did, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!